Hello, Capricorn. This is your tarot reading for August 2015. My name is Aire. My professional name is Aire, A-I-R-E. And I've been reading tarot for a few years. I'm not a veteran, but I'm also a Wiccan. I try to do the same introduction because this is the first time I've done these readings on video. And so I'm just trying to introduce myself on all the astrological signs. I like tarot because I'm an English major, and tarot gives me the best of both worlds, where it's sort of like reading literature and reading the story of someone's life. And I get to combine my love of literature with my psychic abilities or my psychic gifts. Now, the cards were pre-shuffled, and I cleared them with this crystal after every reading. So I'm going to shuffle the cards a little while longer. Sometimes a card might jump out. It looks like they're all staying put. Well, this is interesting. Two opposing forces, actually. I'll put these back. And so, because this is a general reading, I'm not necessarily looking for romance or career. I think those type of things will definitely show up. It's interesting because there's so many different types of Capricorns. You could be a Capricorn with a different ascendant. You know, some of you are Capricorns, your sun sign is Capricorn, but your ascendant could be Virgo or Libra or Cancer. You know, the energies of the cards might play out the same for astrological signs, but they might play out in different situations. If we have like lying or dishonesty, it could be something going on at your workplace for some of you, and then for other people it could actually be a relationship situation. So I will just try to tell the story in as basic but yet detailed terms as possible. I don't know if that's possible. I'm going to try to really tell a story that will speak to the situation that all of you are going through, knowing that there are so many of you who are Capricorns, and some of you were born right at the beginning of the sun sign, and then some of you are like Capricorns who are close to being Aquarius, that type of thing. So I'm going to cut the cards. Now, Capricorn, I did a video before for your sign, and it was very interesting because the cards were about unfinished business. Now, I lost the video. There was a glitch on my computer. But there were a lot of wands that showed up, and it was about the Judgment card and the World showing up, and Judgment not coming. But it was about ending something, but not ending it too soon before you could really resolve it. So let's see what happens with this. I do know that you had 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Ace of Wands, 5 of Wands. And so I had to do this reading over for you because I like to do readings where you get to see me shuffle the cards and lay them out. So I'm going to try to be very careful with this computer here, and I hope everything... Oh my God! This is the first card that showed up in that ghost reading. Got Ten of Swords. You had a lot of tens in the other spread. Okay. This is the past. These are things that are going on, starting the month of August. These are the past energies that you're starting the month off with. So let's see if this theme of unfinished business shows up now. Five of Wands showed up again too. Conflict. And also, love is Two of Cups is reversed. 10 of Cups was reversed in that other reading. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's easy to see the story of what's happening here. And we have moving on. We're making a decision, and we're moving on. Now, I am going to put an outcome card that will wrap up this entire story near the end of the reading. I'll just wait right here. But the first thing is Capricorn, you're an earth sign, so this might be a very relevant card for you because Pentacles represent the earth, and the Queen is a passive energy. She's the giving energy. The King is an active energy. He rules, he has authority, he demonstrates mastery over everything. But the Queen isn't so much as ruling, she just supports. And you can see that, you know, she's holding the pentacle in her hand. She's very grounded. She is stable. And she's also able to be she's a very practical person. And whenever I see a court card, I do interpret that as an actual person. And it could be energies changing. For instance, you have Queen of Cups here. So we have this, cups represent emotions, pentacles represent the physical and the logical aspects. It can also represent money and abundance. But there are practical and logical energies around the pentacle as well. And so here in the beginning of August, the past energies, we start with emotions. We start with this Queen of Cups who is loving and giving. She's holding the cup in her hand. Then we have this card. This is not so good because it means that you see this man is stabbed in the back, and you have all these swords here just stabbing him and killing him. And so, and this is sort of a throwback to Julius Caesar as well. And this can mean the complete loss of hope, the death of emotion, the death of thoughts. It can mean depression and hopelessness. And it represents a mental energy, actually more than, it's more of a mental thing than actually something that was done to you. But if this is in a relationship reading, and keep in mind this is right on top of this, it can definitely mean that you are going through a lot of grief and pain over this person. This person, this Queen of Cups right next to it. A lot of pain. So yeah, this can turn into a relationship reading. We have the Moon. The Moon represents the subconscious. It represents dreams. You see the water here, And whenever you see water in a tarot card, the water represents emotions, just like cups represent emotion. Cups represents the element of water. So your emotions sort of fuel your fears and your subconscious, and any issues that you have come to the surface with the moon. How can I describe it? You might be having strange dreams or nightmares or things that come back from your past. Like if you were bullied in school, the moon means that you have that recurring fear of being bullied again. Or, if there are certain things that you have anxiety about, even if it's something like a fear of, maybe if you're claustrophobic or something, these fears are coming up. And so, we have a lot of mental anguish and fears and hopelessness going on here. Going into August, how it's all playing out. This is Four of Cups. And once again, cups represent water, and water represents emotions, not only just in tarot, but in dreams, in the interpretation of dreams. Whenever you see water, a river, an ocean, rain, it represents emotions. And what's going on here is, this is a card of being unhappy. It's emotional detachment, just, saying, well, I'm not happy with the 3 cups I have. You have a 4th cup coming out of the air to offer another cup of emotion, but also emotional clarity and happiness, but he's not seeing it. He's just pouting. Now, reversed, we may not have so much of this unhappiness. Maybe there is a connection with emotions. We're not necessarily pouting, but it's interesting that we have this 5 of Wands here, which is conflict. And it's a friendly kind. It's not like 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is a card about fighting and fighting to win an argument. Here we just see a bunch of boys playing around here. And so it's not necessarily fighting. It seems to be just playing at conflict here. But there are people with different agendas who are playing to win and trying to get the best of each other, sort of like a competition. This can be an internal struggle, but when we look at this doesn't necessarily mean that we're happy and everything's just going fine, but it can mean emotional turmoil as well, that we're not necessarily emotionally detached, but we want something. We do want that cup. We want to be fully happy and satisfied. It's this wanting and hoping. But the 2 of Cups, upright, this is the card of love and commitment. It's not a card about hooking up or a relationship that's casual. This is very serious. And when you see 2 of Cups show up, especially with 10 of Cups or, the prosperity cards, this definitely means that there's a potential for marriage, soulmate connection, especially if it's with the Lover's card as well. but it's upside down. There's no union here. There's no happiness. And this is pretty straightforward. So what happens? What's going to happen here? We have Ace of Swords. This is the card of clarity. You're starting to get clarity. It's the beginning. 10, when you see the number 10, it means you're coming to the ending of a situation. So there's definitely clarity here. The beginning of the truth and making decisions. It also can mean communication. And it's interesting because Capricorn, you are an earth sign. And so this card, Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles is your element. It represents, Pentacles represent earth. And there's no more emotion. There's no more getting hurt or being confused. Now you are logical, you're practical, you're getting grounded and stable. You're not so vulnerable the way you were here. And because of that, you're moving on. It seems like you are being able to move on. Now, the major arcana are very important cards because they tell a story. They set up the framework for these lower trump cards. The 1, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. Well, the ace through number 10, the king, the queen, those are all trump cards. The same cards you would see in playing cards. But the major arcana cards, the first 22 cards of the tarot, which is a total of 78 cards, they set the framework for what's going on with these lower trump cards. And so we have you here in the beginning of August, maybe dealing with your fears and emotions and past issues. But here now, we're going into the future, moving on. It's almost like, oh, I'm over it. You know, I might have been a little confused, a little hurt here, but you get back on your feet near the end. So this, as far as what's going on, this is definitely a relationship going on here. I think that you're no longer going to try to make it work with this person or this relationship. You know, it's just not going to work. But I am going to shuffle for the outcome card to see how this story ends. Okay, what is that card? And I was kind of clumsy with my shuffling here. That card is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of moving on. You see the Chariot. This man is determined to move on. But this decision is not going to be easy. Because you see this man, he's leaving his emotions behind. There are 8 cups. And the cups, you know, it's not like everything's gone wrong, but he needs to, this man is searching for something more. And look at the moon here. We have the moon here, we have the moon here. And so we never leave the fears or sorrow behind. Our subconscious is always talking to us, always reappearing. And we have the emotions coming back. I think that Capricorn, you're going to leave behind this situation, but it's not going to be easy because You're going to need to confront a lot of your fears and your pain and your guilt and whatever was going on here. But the thing is, you're leaving it behind. All of this, the moon, the cups, this sword here, you're just leaving it behind because the moon is behind you. And keep in mind the sun is still there. But the moon, you can see that the moon is sort of in the background. You're obviously walking, leaving behind this emotional situation. And that's a good thing. I think that, confronting your fears, once you confront everything and you get clarity, sometimes all you need to do is just keep moving on. And, allow yourself time to grieve and get over things. So, Capricorn, it's going to be a very interesting month. And I definitely see you getting back on your feet after all of this. So that was interesting. The moon obviously is a big part of your story for the month of August. And that is your reading for the month of August. I hope you found some clarity here. Feel free to email me if you would like a more detailed reading. And I will see you in September.